Hi, good morning everyone. Welcome back to Studioloo. So I have gotten quite a bit of progress done. I worked on this journal a bit last night. So I have put the book together. Okay, let me show you what I did. So here's the final look at that illustration that we did. All those lines, I went back over the orange paint, and I'm really happy with it. It's all sealed, so it's, you know, the book has continuity. It's all sealed. Then what I did, so a while ago, I spun this yarn. It's a yarn that was sort of dedicated to monarch butterflies. So I had a little bit left over, and I felt like it would be fun to kind of rim around the edge with yarn, which is what I did, and I zigzag stitched it all around the book. This is the fabric that I chose for the spine. It's actually made from like a 70s dress, and I just absolutely love this fabric. I loved the dress, and I wore it a couple of times. And then I was like, this thing is a polyester nightmare, and I cannot wear it. It's way too hot to wear polyester. I don't know. I can't do it. I feel for you ladies who lived, you know, in the 60s, and you were wearing these beautiful dresses so elegantly, because I feel like I am like a horse in a stable when I wear one of them. So anyways, so I added cheesecloth here to put the book together on that spine that we built, and I have, you know, affixed down the fabric on the inside. So this is what the inside of the book looks like now in its rough copy. So we're going to cover all this up, obviously. But yeah, I'm really happy. So the 5 signatures, I have put all the papers together. I just have to probably go back and trim some strings from the stitching. So the papers that I chose are all together, and I added the lace and fabric on the sides so far. I want to put some tabs in too before I'm done, but I'll give you a little idea of what I added. So obviously you saw the green and yellow papers. I added some of my avocado dyed papers. Added some papers from a garden book, some packaging paper, because I just thought the brown, like, it looks really nice. It's kind of like tones of like soft orange and brown and green and yellow. Like, I just really like how it's coming together. So then I added some moth and butterfly field guide. Added a gold doily to the center of this one. There's the Luna moth. That's my favorite moth, other than the hummingbird moth. But yeah, I'm really loving how this is coming together. It's a very sweet journal. So I did some really nice trim here, and then more moths. I haven't put in the ephemera yet. That is still yet to be done. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how it's come together so far. Some tatting on this one, some orange. Oh, and I added some nice of this monarch butterfly book that I just got in. I think I got it a little while ago. I can't remember when. Then some pressed flower plate pages, little avocado dyed botanical papers. This is more of this fun garden book that was really beautiful. I feel like this journal just has a very fun kind of homey, gardeny, you know, like, I don't know, it just kind of gives me all the feels about like being a young family and raising kids and teaching them about nature and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, or it's just a wonderful naturey kind of home and nature kind of theme. Yeah, and I like the side profile of the pages in the book. I think it's super cute. The pinks and the greens. Very nice. So yeah, that's how it's coming together. What I want to do today, though, is I want to put the book label plate on the cover. So I had a couple choices. The first one was this little one, but I feel like it just sort of, it gets a little lost. So I want to go with this one. And these are antique. These are not, but these are actually antique. I got them from an antique store in Eastern Ontario, and I really love them. I have to grab my poker tool. I was doing a little bit of medieval sewing machine maintenance last night and needed this. That's what happened. Okay, so yeah, I want to put it off center rather than at the center. I just think it balances better to be off center, like in this corner. I always like putting my book plates there. I don't know, it's just a thing. So what I do is I just, or not book plate, but label plate, I guess. I just like to poke the holes while I'm holding it down, especially on a busy background, because I would definitely never find if it were a pencil mark. So then what I do, I have a couple different ways that I attach these kind of labels. Sometimes I use these teeny tiny little, let me grab one, these little tiny screws. But then other times I use brads, little brads, and it's always easier to use brads because you don't have to flatten the back of the screw like I do with the little screws. But sometimes the brads just don't look right, and so I may have to change my mind again on that one. So let me grab my small brads. I think these are small. Come here. Get this big piece of rusty metal out of the way here. In my cabinet of tetanus and other diseases. Just kidding. I have a lot of rusty metal that hangs around, so needless to say, I am up on my tetanus shot at all times. Which is an important thing, actually. You wouldn't think, but it really is. I learned that because of using a drum carder, which is, for those of you not familiar with the wool kind of processing world, a drum carder is used for combing wool fibers and other fibers together to make really colorful spinnable bats. But they have all these tiny little metal teeth, and you can easily scrape yourself, and you don't want to do that. Just gonna roll right over that brad and embed it in there good. So see, we have our little brad, and these look really cute with this particular label. Okay. Just line this back up again here. Oops. Straight again. Okay. Go. I just like to roll the brad over because it the handle of this over the brad, it really flattens it down nicely. So, okay, then the last one. Whoops, it's very early this morning. My internal alarm went off really early this morning, although I did sleep well last night, so I can't complain too much. This is bent funny. Let me see if I can fix that. I don't know. Yeah, let's not bother. That's too much hassle. We'll just get a new brad. I think I need to get more small brads, the itty bitty guys. I think I just bought a certain number of these to sort of test out the size and how I liked them with the journal labels, and so we didn't have too many of them. But yeah, where I got these little metal journal labels, I actually was on the hunt for 90 of the same of these kind of labels to put on my library cabinet. I have one of those large library bureau cabinets that has 90 drawers in it. And so I found this antique store. I mean, these little things, you would not believe the price these things sell for. It's crazy. But I found this antique store that's like really junky, and it's like half outdoor, and it's run by this, I mean, very old man. I'm gonna say he's like in his 90s. He's incredible. He's like the most lovely and kind, docile, sweet little old man. And his son, who I don't know if he'll take on his dad's business, but like you can tell he's kind of lived this junker lifestyle, right? Where he's had a whole life. He's just collected every bit of, you know, rusty nail to tubing to, like, I mean, everything you can imagine is there. And it's weird. It's like, it's all organized in these gigantic piles all over outside. So if you're looking for fencing, there's piles and piles of old fencing. I mean, it's really good for someone who's doing, you know, like repairs around a farm, or even just like trying to do some kind of industrial or shabby kind of look. You know, you could really get some great supplies there at a good price. So the inside is a little more like delicate things, fancier things, dishes and, you know, all sorts of stuff. But I saw these because there were a few in a bag, and so I said to him, you know, I'm on this reckless search. I'm looking for 90 of the same cabinet pull type label for my library cabinet, and they're so expensive, and I'm wondering if you would have some, and if I could make an offer on a bulk amount of them, if you'd have like upwards of 100. So he said, well, let me see what I can do. And then the most magical thing happened, okay? So behind the counter, there's this wooden door. And on the door, I mean, it already caught my attention because it has all these tiny little hooks on it. And on the hooks are all manner of different antique keys and tiny locks, and it was just really visually cool to look at. So I was like really excited by that. And so then he opens the door, and there's just this staircase down, and it was just like an Alice in Wonderland falling through, you know, like falling down the corridor kind of thing. All on the sides of like the walls, there was just all of these wire kind of loops, old rusty wire loops that had something on them, like some kind of, you know, one of these labels, like, but a bunch of them, or keys, or some metal finding. And I was like, you know, so I ended up getting my labels there, which was awesome. And then I also picked up a few of these, you know, at the time, not knowing what I would like better. So I grabbed, you know, a few of these just because they were really pretty. And he was giving me this great, you know, price on like a bulk amount of them. So yeah, I'm happy like years later now that I'm making journals to have these. These are very special. So they're very, very old. And so that's their story. And so when you get my journals, there's often something like that I found through some special person included in them. So there we go. There's a look at what this probably will look like when it's done. It's probably going to be a little bit more like this, if I'm honest, because I'm going to put some ephemera in there. But yeah, it's coming together. So I think the next thing I will do, I want to make, I can probably cut them now, actually. So I have this old, well, not old, but, well, probably old. I don't know when it's from, but it's a sari, and I've had it for many, many years. And it's like actually, it's not a sari. It's a boy's shirt that would be worn at a wedding, like a Punjabi wedding or something. So yeah, it's really beautiful. It has shashi mirrors all embedded in it. Just gorgeous. So the fabric is this amazing green. I mean, I don't even know how to describe this cotton. It is so soft and beautiful, and this green makes me so unbelievably happy. And I think I really want to use it because I'm thinking like caterpillars, you know. So I want to make 5 fabric tabs with this to go down the sides of the journal. So that should be enough. And let's see, I'm gonna go this way. And I'll cut the edge off here. Okay, so I think that can do probably 2 tabs, maybe 3. That'll be 1. See, so yeah, I think we'll get 3. I want to make them too big. 2, 3. This is the same green fabric I used on the back of that caterpillar cluster that I made for this journal. Get that out of the way. All right, so now we have the 5 tabs. So those are going to go probably like in the middle of the signature. So I'll probably just, I'll glue them and then I'll stitch them. So what I do usually is I find kind of a nice page I want to put them on. I think I'll use this page. Then I just sort of push my papers up a little so I know where I left off here. And then I just use glue stick to attach them, and then I will stitch them on with a few stitches. Okay. And this will be the first tab, so it goes at the top. There we go. Flip it on over. Okay. So I'm just going to plunk them back in here because, did I just tab those together? Look what I did. Why? Apparently it's a little earlier in the morning than what I expressed to you because coffee has not occurred yet. Let's just put that down properly. Just wipe the excess little bit of glue. Not a lot of glue there. We're good. Oh. All right. So now we'll have that little tab. Then we'll go to the next one. Pick a page. Take this page again. These garden pages are just really nice for this. Okay. Last night I got my husband to help me prepare fabric and mordant it, and it's out on the line drying today. So I'm just going to try to do a little bit every day because it's super exhausting process. He was helping me last night. He's like, okay, I see why you've been overwhelmed by this. I'm like, yeah, it's a lot of work. So it was nice to have a second pair of hands to rub mordant into fabric, but okay. Oops. That back in here. Pretty field guide page. And my husband is working. He's doing a special job this weekend for his work, so I'll be on kid duty by myself for the morning. Which is okay. Soon I have to start. I've got to kind of make a list of things I need to get done before I take our vacation in September. It's kind of our bigger break in September. For 2 weeks we are going to go away to the cottage, and I'm really looking forward to it. I feel like I was talking to my doctor yesterday, and she said she feels like, you know, don't throw caution to the wind, but like if possible, she feels like everyone in society just needs to take some kind of a reset, right? Like a way to reset. And I get where she's coming from. She just got back from Bermuda. She's very tanned. You know, she's a little bit more she takes a few more risks than I do, obviously, but I'm also like listening to her and hearing what she's saying about, you know, a lot of my fears and anxieties about things that I I want my children to be able to do in this world. And, you know, despite what's going on, I'm trying to think of safe ways to do them. And, you know, she had some nice words for me yesterday, and I felt really good about it. And she made me feel like I'm doing my job as a mom. You know, like, I know I'm doing my job as a mom, but like I felt kind of validated, and like it was kind of nice to hear someone say like, yeah, you know, but give yourself a break too, right? And so that's what I need to work on, is maybe the give myself a little bit of a break part. So I think now that I look back, this tap's a little further out than the rest, so I'm just going to lift it a little. That's kind of a nice way to get some perspective on when you're doing anything that sticks out of the side of a journal, is to just, you know, put it all together for a moment and see how it looks. Yeah, that's a little more lined up, I think. Okay. This tatting wants to get caught on this page and not let it sit flat. Here we go. Here, yeah, okay, so now we have our tabs, so that's perfect. That's what I was looking for. So I think what I'll do next probably is I'm trying to decide. I think I want to do a visible binding on here with some nice green threads, I think. And I'm also thinking about adding like some kind of like an what's the word? Like an ode to a caterpillar a little bit. So I don't know if I have any green yarn, but like you see how, you know, this yarn, it's kind of squiggly, right? Kind of like a caterpillar. See? So I'm thinking about how little squiggles would be cute on the spine. I haven't decided if it's possible to do that yet. I also have, you know, I think we're all familiar with this kind of trim. Thinking about doing something with some of that as well, but I don't know. It's still, the jury's still out on what I want to do. I have some other yarn that I'm thinking about in my brain that might work, but I don't know where it is. I don't think it's here in my pile of like laces and yarns that I keep hanging here beside my desk. My giant tangle, essentially. I'll sort of show you. This is a part of my giant tangle. If you see, I have this overhead filming setup, and I hang a bunch of laces and things from the side of it, and as I pull, they get all like wacky and all uneven, but it's actually very functional and I quite love it. I'm also thinking this color could be really nice on the spine, and doing my squiggles with that. And what I think I might do is, like, if I take the, you know, the binding thread, I'll use this blue one from my Ort as an example, you know, pretend like this is the spine, okay, right here. So like if I do my spine like that, I could poke through the top and I would have this bit kind of free and waiting for me to do something to go back into the hole. And then what I could do is, before I go back into the hole, I can go down and around a few times. But the other thing I could do is maybe make beads. I could make some fun beads with the yarn or something. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do. So that will be the next stage, I think, the binding. I'm not sure. I don't think I have anything else that I need to do other than to stitch these tabs before I do the binding. I don't think I have anything else left. If I want to do stenciling, I can do it with it in the book. I don't think that's a big deal. I don't want to do any spraying. So yeah, that I think is where I will leave you, and I will come back and do a little bit more later, but breakfast beckons. So have a lovely day. Thank you for joining me for a little more of Terry and the Caterpillars. I'm super happy with her so far. I think my favorite part so far is how this illustration turned out and how well it kind of blends with the original. So remember to take chances like this. I was terrified to do this. I was like, what if I screw up the whole thing? And then I had the same thought as I got like some of this stitched down. I was like, oh geez, did I just ruin this book cover? Was it better without it? And then as I kept going, I was like, no, I like it, and I really like the handle of it on the book, and I really like the detail when I look at it, that I can see that it's zigzagged over and that it's stitched right into the book, and I think all of that adds magic. And also I feel like I love this yarn because it really does speak to me about monarch butterflies. I spent a lot of time sort of just doing a color study with monarchs some years ago, and that was some of the leftover yarn that I had, and I wanted to make use of it. So yes, my sewing machine is very happy to be done with this project. It was getting really angry at me, and it started doing that thing where it all tangles up on the underside of the of the stitching, which always happens to me because my machine needs to be cleaned. But typically what kicks it off is when I'm abusing my sewing machine in some way, like sewing through a book cover, and then it's like, okay, I got you back. So then I have to clean it all, and after I cleaned it, it was fine. So anyhow, that's it for me for today. I will talk to you all again soon. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do. We do fun things here, and there will be more fun to come. So have a great day. Bye for now.